Bada boom. Geeks are back with the main card picks. Let's get it, baby. Now starting off with a banger. We got the Conor McGregor welterweight version. Iangary stepping in 8-0 versus Darian Weeks 5-1. This is going to be a scrap and a half. If I didn't already say it 3 times, Iangary is looking like one of the best prospects in the sport. Like a menace. Came out in his last fight, had some sketchy moments. Still comes out, gets the knockout. Stellar power. His physique is amazing. He's very athletic. It looks like he's very elusive. The way he talks, you understand that he knows what he's doing in the octagon. Scary prospect. I'm going to ride the wave. I think Iangary gets it done. I don't think Darian Weeks is anything too crazy. He's good, but I just don't think he's good enough. So give me Iangary to just outclass him, maybe get a knockout, but definitely get the win. The line's kind of inflated, so be careful with that. But I do think he's kind of parlay worthy. Let's go goose off rip.
I love Iangary in this one. If you follow us on Twitter, you saw we had a tweet out last week. He was in my lock parlay as well. I think he goes out and get it done. And I think he looks better than he did in his debut, because in his debut, you had a guy making his debut. He got the jitters in MSG versus a lengthy striker, pretty good pop with his back against the wall. One more loss and he was going to be out of the UFC. So he was fighting for his contract. He had a lot riding on that fight. And Iangary went out and put his lights out. That step back counter two is deadly. If Darian Weeks is reaching in this one, his night could end quick, but he is a tough dude. He played it pretty safe in his debut and his loss to Brian Barberena. If he keeps that same game plan, it'll probably be the same result for him. Another decision loss for Mr. Darian Weeks. But regardless of the outcome, I like Iangary a lot, and I will be riding with him on Saturday.
All right, that's facts. Let's go fish.
Iangary, we have a dude coming from Cage Warriors, 7-0, undefeated fighter. He's got 5 knockouts and a submission, and he's training at Sanford MMA, which we love to hear. And another thing, he's only went to the decision 2 times in his career. So we got a dude who comes out, like CEO Geeks said, he can outstrike him for sure. But Darian Weeks, like Goose said, Brian Barberena, tough dude. But I think Darian Weeks' only way to win this fight is to take him down. But I don't know if he'll be able to do that. And we're going with Iangary. The line might be a little too high, but maybe not. This guy could be really dominant, but we'll see how it goes.
Dano.
All right, so I want to start off with the RIP in the chat for my boy Kelvin, who was supposed to fight, and this fight spot got hurt. But this is a good fight to replace it. I like Iangary. I think he's well-rounded, but he's following in the Irishman stereotype of being a lead on the feet. And I just don't think Darian Weeks has much for him. He can go the ground with Gary, but Gary's got the height. I'm assuming he's got the reach. And I think this is going to be another highlight reel finish. I think, he was getting pieced up in his last fight a little bit, and then did knock him out with the step back too. But I feel like he's going to want to let the hands go, and we're going to see some cool stuff from him. He's got a good spot opener of the main card. So this is a good fight for Gary coming up.
Yeah, let's go. Gary Train riding. All right. Next fight. Girl fight. Strawweights. Tisha Torres. She's hot. 13-5. Mackenzie Dern, she's also hot. 11-2. I don't care. I'll take Tisha. Sorry. Goose.
Tisha Torres. I like that she is going to be better on the feet. I think she's got that low center of gravity. She's going to be able to fight off the takedowns. Mackenzie Dern doesn't really have a good wrestling background. She's a great jiu-jitsu, but the wrestling is lacking. Her takedowns aren't that effective. And if this fight gets stuck on the feet for long, Tisha Torres is throwing punches and kicks in bunches. You know, she's a little ball fury in there. And Mackenzie Dern does not have the best stand-up game as we've seen in her past couple fights. So tough matchup for her. Give me the underdog, Tisha Torres, in this one.
All right, Dano.
I don't know. I like Dern. She's game. She's been battle tested in the past, but so is Tisha Torres. But I'm gonna stay away. Maybe pick the over. That might be a good one for this fight. But
There you
other
go.
than that, pass.
All right, Fish.
Mackenzie Dern, 6-2 in the UFC. Never been finished, 7 subs. So we got jiu-jitsu against a girl who's more well-rounded. And Tisha Torres, I'm going to have to go with her. And training in South Florida, ATT, I believe. And, yeah, I think she's just been in the game a little longer. And like you said, we'll grind it out. She has – what I like about her, actually, she has 2 tough finale victories. So the fact that she's been through the tournament twice and won it twice is cool. So she's just she's got grit. So we're going to go with Torres on that one.
All right, fire me up. Let's get to the next one. I've been waiting for this one all night. Khamzat Chimaev, 10-0, baby. Coming out against Gilbert Dorino Burns. Man, Gilbert's just not big enough, bro. He's just not big enough. Khamzat, the 4-inch height advantage, making the much bigger cut to get to 85. He is going to be the much bigger man. He's already a specimen as it is. If you put anybody in there just the same size, he's still gonna wreck them. But give him 4 inches and all this weight. Yeah, it's a tough cut. You could always see it on the scale, so that's something to look out for. But I mean, this guy is just an animal, bro. This is the future. This is the next triple champion of the UFC. I'm convinced, and I don't need him to beat Gilbert. Like everyone says, like I'm already convinced, man. I see it. The proof is in the pudding. Nobody does what he's been doing to his opponents. And you can look back at his opponents. Look at Mearshart. Look what he's been doing. He's still winning. This guy's still winning against valid opponents. Like these guys aren't falling off. Like Jinglang's probably gonna have a great outing his next fight. So like he's not like that. Like he's not beating cans, and he's going to make that very evident when he comes out and he knocks out Gilbert Burns. CEO Geek is putting all his money on a knockout. He is not going to sub him. Gilbert's pretty slick, and yeah, he'll be able to manhandle him, but it's going to come down to dominant positioning, ground and pound, or it's going to come down to Khamzat just playing the game, waiting. Gilbert's going to be very hesitant, just waiting for the shot, and it's going to look a lot like Mearshart. I already said his name today. I'm going to say it again, baby. One shot down the middle. Khamzat's going to win by knockout. Give me Khamzat round 1, splatter. Let's go, Goose.
This man's for real now. I'm going with the hype beast, that boy, Khamzat Chimaev. He's been training with Darren Till. His striking's going to be better. He already had that pop in the hands. I think he can do whatever he wants in this fight. You know, you got to give Burns a little bit of respect. You hate to see him plus 400 or whatever he is, but you said it right. I don't think he's going to be big enough. You know, the Khamzat's probably going to be able to eat his best shot. He won't be able to eat Khamzat's best shot on the feet. This fight goes to the ground. You have like a crazy amount of time gold medal wrestler in Sweden. He's just going to overpower the jiu-jitsu game of Gilbert Burns, get himself in dominant position. So is there a lot of value on minus 700? Probably not, but it's the guy that's going to win this fight. Give me Khamzat in this one.
Let's go. Dano.
All right, the hype's real for me. I think Khamzat is a problem, and I'm already looking past this fight. I think he's going to beat Burns. Seriously, I think he's going to beat Burns. And if you look at the timeline, Usman and Leon's fighting in June, July. So he's going to need a fight, and I think he's going to call out Colby. I think Khamzat's gonna. I'm excited to watch Khamzat for more than 30 seconds. I'm
Right.
excited to see him go into later rounds, hopefully, but I think it's gonna be a Khamzat finish.
Hell
Early.
yeah.
Early.
Fish.
Gilbert Burns. We got with more experience in the UFC, trained at Sanford, great jiu-jitsu. But on the other hand, we have a walking phenom who will stop at nothing. This dude has been hungry his whole life, is finally here, and I'm glad that we can finally see Gilbert Burns, someone with a caliber in the rankings, so we don't have an excuse after this fight. With people saying he hasn't fought anybody, and it's a good tell with the champ Kamaru. I don't remember what round he finished it, second, third, I don't remember, but we're going to be able to tell the difference in the caliber and compare the champ and Khamzat. I'm super excited for this fight, but on Khamzat's side, I mean, like Goose said, Mearshart, he put him out with one shot. What other person could say they did that? What other person could say they manhandled Li Ji Lang and manhandled him? I mean, put him to sleep. And this dude's the real. And Gilbert Burns knows what he's got under on his hands, and it's going to be a long night or a quick night. We'll see. A long, quick night for Gilbert Burns.
So let's move on to the next fight. We got Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. Holy shnikey. We got the rematch. A lot of bad blood. Got the illegal knee that came up the middle. How could you forget? Aljo's coming back. He took the title after he laid on the floor and cried for about, I don't know. It was a long time. Enough for them to call the fight. And then has the audacity for the other day to come out and say, if they would have given me my 5 minutes, I would have kept going. That shit had me dead, man. But I think Petr outclasses him in this. I think it's still close. Like, the line is ridiculous. I'm not going to dabble a money line. I'm even going to keep Petr probably out of my parlays. There's a little tip for you guys. But a Petr finish is definitely something that will be on my betting sheet. So catch me getting a Petr knockout. If I had to pick a round, I'd say round 3. It's going to be a high intensity fight. I think Aljo's already said a couple times in some interviews that he's looking to go in there and kind of sandhagen him. He's going to go in there. He's going to look to get him on the mat. He's going to look to get a finish. People say he was gassing last fight. That's what happens when you try to pressure, wrestle, grapple, and dominant position hold people. So Aljo's going to get tired again. It's inevitable. Give me Petr Yan round 3 knockout. Let's go Dano off rip.
Yeah, so I was very, very impressed with Jan's stand up when he, not only kept up, but beat Sandhagen pretty much at the stand up game throughout the whole fight. And I think, Sterling beat Sandhagen as well, but he caught him in a weird spot and subbed him. And of course, Sterling's going to be really good on the ground, but I think Jan's wrestling can really not so counter it, but cancel it out because he's just like such a force on the ground. And if it goes to the feet, I really got Jan by early, maybe before round 3. But I don't think Sterling can, it feels like he can't really do anything to Jan. And Jan's just got so many weapons to choose from. So I'm gonna go Jan inside the distance.
Well said, Goosey.
And still, I'm taking Aljo in this one.
What?
All right. Because you look at it. All right. You watch the fight back. That fight is a lot closer than people remember. All right. And obviously, it's going to be like that with the memes, and Aljo didn't handle it the best. But he is bringing the rule book with him. So throughout the week here, he'll school Jan up, make sure this fight comes to its natural conclusion. But jokes aside, I think both of them are horrible stylistic matchups for the other. If you get Peter Yan moving backwards, that goes against his game plan, which is what he was doing a lot of. And then you have a guy as tough as Peter Yan with the wrestling defense that nullifies a lot of what Aljamain's trying to do in there. So off rip, they're bad matchups for each other. And then you put into account how much Peter Yan listens to his corner during a fight. He listens to them to the extent of illegally kneeing his title away. He's not going to have him in the corner at all this time. So I don't think we see the best Peter Yan. I think we see the best, most fired up version of Aljamain Sterling that we've seen. He's had a year to prepare for this. He looks in incredible shape. And I think he does enough to sneak 3 rounds out and hopefully, maybe not hopefully, but do enough to survive the later rounds. So I'm going to take Aljamain Sterling 48-47 decision with the place booing while it's red.
It's a lot to soak in right there. All right. Round kick, rip it.
Here, I'll just say what I think is going to happen. I mean, Aljo, he's going to come out hot like he did. And just being the type of fighter he is, like CEO Geek, I think he's going to gas out. And I don't think he's built for championship rounds. I don't think his gas tank can hold up. His style can't hold up that long. And Peter Yan, what I saw in the first fight, you could give Aljo that first round because Peter Yan, I feel like he was reading him, but then he had a knockdown, I believe, in the first round. So I was like, so do you give Aljo that round or do you give Peter Yan that round? But after that round, Peter Yan slowly started to find the holes, he's found the kicks, knocked him down with kicks, and I think he was piecing them up. And I don't think Aljo, he's in great shape. He's explosive, but if he wants to win, he cannot gas out. I think he has too much wasted movement. And Peter Yan is a savage. He has a great guard. Like I said, he's patient for openings. He's at Tiger Muay Thai. He's at a 12-win streak right now. I take that DQ out. That's a dub in my book. I think Peter Yan's got it. I saw him on Instagram. He's training. He would ask people bigger than him, probably by 30, 40 pounds. He'd say, give me any position you want to try to sub me. You can have mount, whatever you want, side. And the guy couldn't sub him. It was just cool. The dude's got great defense. And like Goose said, attached with great striking. It's just an absolute beast. And I'm going with Yan.
Yeah. And you know what? There's something to say about Peter Yan, doing that whole first round analysis. Like, he's not going to have to analyze Aljo this time. So he might be able to get to work a lot faster.
You could argue, though, that he lets his corner make the analyzations for him in the corner and give him a new game plan. So all I'm saying, it's not as straightforward as
who's in his corner.
No.
They're in Russia, bro. They couldn't get visas.
Yeah, but who is in his corner?
I don't even know.
Probably nobody. All right.
Sugar Sean.
Yeah. On to the main event. We got Alexander the Great, Volkanovski, huge favorite. I think he's minus 700 respectively versus Chan Sung Jong, the Korean zombie. I don't think that the Korean zombie's got enough in the tank anymore, boss man. Alexander the Volk is still firing on all cylinders and will be for a long time. This is a real champion, and this is why he's in the pound-for-pound top 5. This guy's an absolute stallion and a half. I talk about short guys with short necks. You can't choke him out. He's athletic as it gets. He used to be a 230-pound rugby athlete, stallion, running the ball up the field. But he cut all that weight, kept all the athleticism, kept all the strength, and bundled it into an 140-pound beaut. This guy is an absolute Hulk. and he is not going anywhere. I got him inside the distance. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes a distance, but Korean Zombie likes to wrestle as of late, especially when he gets in sketchy situations. This will not be an option come Saturday night. If he gets in a sticky spot, he's going to have to eat every single punch until they get separated. So I like Volkanovski by just finish. I wouldn't say knockout or sub because he's that versatile. I can't tell. So I just got him inside. Let's go, Goose.
Yeah, you look at it and being a minus 900 favorite in a main event. But it's not super wrong. It's a little steep, but I mean, this guy might be the GOAT, like he's 23-1 and he got knocked out at 185 pounds when he was like 3 fights in. This guy's 24 fights in, coming from a rugby background. He's still getting better. He's making jumps. I'm looking at it right here. He's got 11 knockouts, 3 submissions, 9 decisions. So I was just debating how he was going to get it done. I think he gets a finish late in this one. His striking is elite, top 10 in the UFC striking. Ortega was out striking Korean Zombie. He teamed up with Cejudo. I think he comes with a little bit more wrestling heavy game plan, which will probably just end up getting him tired out earlier, to be honest. So yeah, I see Alexander Volkanovski. Maybe he has to eat one and makes it a little bit nervous early, but once he gets settled in, gets his feet wet, I see him dominating.
Yeah, these are the facts. Fishman, rip it.
So Volk, we got a dude who is 10-0 in the UFC. Like you said, 11 knockouts. And this dude hits like a truck, and he finds the home about 6.5 times a minute. So this dude puts damage on his opponents, and what I'd love to see is he invests in the body too. He doesn't just headhunt. He kicks the shit out of your legs. He'll hit you in the body. He'll really wear you down. A big grinded out type of fighter. City kickboxing. He's on a 20-fight win streak, and his gas tank is unbelievable. I mean, he's been going for his 3rd defense now. Beat Holloway twice, and some may argue about one of the Holloway ones, but
No.
Ortega, Aldo, and Chad Mendez. So I mean, he's been fighting some dogs. Korean Zombie always comes out, gives you an interesting fight. In 2020, he lost to Ortega. Ortega landed a crazy the spinning elbow with Zombie coming in. But yeah, I don't know what Cejudo's got planned. I'm curious to see the game plan. But Volkanovski is a dude, man, and I think he's gonna hold the belt for a little bit. And I'm hyped to see him and Holloway run it back. Wish he didn't get hurt, but we'll see how this goes.
Dano, rip it.
It's hard for me to pick Zombie because I feel like Volk's been even levels above his former opponents, and in that number 1 contender fights to show you if you're on that level to fight the champion. And since this was supposed to be Holloway Volk, right? And Holloway steps out, Zombie slips in. I think he just might be too many levels below Volk. Like Goose said, I think Volk is the GOAT of the division. And he's one of those guys who's just like super clean with everything he does. He's super well-rounded. And Zombie's susceptible to spinning shots from Ortega, Rodriguez. And I think Volk is so clean with his shots that he can even loosen up a little bit and try some stuff. I think he's going to be able to handle it wherever he goes. And I like it longer because Zombie's durable. But I don't know. I could see a late round finish from Volkanovski.
Yeah, these are the facts, and those are the picks. And the Geeks have just blessed you. Let's get after it. This Saturday It's coming down in our state, Jacksonville, Florida. Do not miss it.
Duval. That place is gonna be
Ooh.
rocking. I think it is gonna be rocking for sure. Also early looks on possible parlays. Dreekus fell out of my out of my lock parlay. Mike Malott might be going in. So that would put us at Iangary and Khamzat for sure. I'm about 75% on Mike Malott right now. So we'll decide throughout the week, but that's what I'm leaving you with.
Little thing is tune into early prelims and don't miss the fight. Pichel from Hell versus Olympian O'Matson. That's going to be a banger. I'm looking forward to that one.
Everybody. All right. That's it. We're out.